I know we're going to beat them long run, though, because there weren't people in Nazi Germany or Stalinist Russia or Maoist China who had the type of media power that patriots have today, and they didn't have the history of liberty this country's had. We're going to beat this, but it's going to be rough. But you better know I'm sacrificing a lot to be right here on the front line. I'm getting chills right now. I mean, look at this one. Brigade Homeland. Do you guys have that Pentagon News Channel video clip ready? Yeah, get it ready. Thank you. Brigade Homeland tour starts October 1st. And they go on to admit they want 387,000 troops deployed in every U.S. city. Jesse Ventura's TV show aired Friday. And I gave him the government documents about forced relocation programs, how they stage oil spills and things to force people out. And here is a 2007 October article, Rebuild or Retreat, U.S. debates evacuation of Gulf coastline, and part of a U.S. government program, $40 billion program to force people out. And they're not letting most people on the Gulf Coast rebuild. That's all part of this FEMA takeover plan. There's the London Guardian report on that. Meanwhile, people are making jokes about Ventura's show covering this when he got the Army Corps of Engineers head scientist to admit it. Here's another one. I've seen DynCorp, Halliburton, and others over and over again in mainstream news, congressional reports, running giant child kidnapping rings worldwide. Here's the Houston Press. WikiLeaks, Texas company helped pimp little boys to stoned Afghan cops. Again, you can't make this up. Here's another one. Bloomberg, Texas sued over sale of baby blood samples. I told folks nationwide to sue. My listeners sued in Austin, sued in Minneapolis, St. Paul. They won. I've had their lawyers on over the years, and they got the documents. The Pentagon's got a secret DNA database, but it's gone on for 39 years in every Western country. They take your blood secretly. They lie to you. It's illegal. How many... I know I got long-term listeners. How long did you hear me cover that and give you all the docs? And then even when the media starts reporting on it, they whitewash it. Here's the UN Special Climate Program. This is the meeting they're having right now. Here's their official agenda. Page 6. The adoption, implementation of sustainable agriculture, that means shutting down your local farm or ranch, livestock production systems, the eradication of measures that encourage environmental degradation and the cause of GHG, greenhouse gases, emissions, the implementation of relocation programs for human settlements and infrastructure in high-risk areas, and the implementation of policies that create sustainability. That means feudalism, and as Ted Turner said, a post-industrial world with a one-child policy. And the West is already having, on average, 1.2 kids. We're dying. For every 2 parents, only 1.2 children. But they love it. They love it. And I could play hundreds of clips. I've got local news going, the Marines are running checkpoints looking for drunk drivers in California. Oh, the Army has arrested over 2,000 people for firearms and marijuana in this area of upstate New York. I've played that clip. Oh, the local Army ran checkpoints in Tennessee. The governor said don't do it, but they still did it. Then I had the state rep on, shutting down whole highways. This isn't for if a meteorite crashes or a volcano blows up or a tsunami hits. They've got the Army in schools telling kids to spy on their parents. They've got them, quote, tearing down crack houses in Dallas. They've got them just acclimating you that troops are the new social workers, the TSA on the streets. Don't you get it? They want you to be trained to take their hands down your pants, to put you in a radiation scanner. They got caught lying about saving the images. It's really a 360 biometric scan for their cameras at hundreds of yards away. They can look right through your clothes and get your identity. Not only your retina or your fingerprint has a body measurement algorithm, so does your entire body. I mean, I've got all their documents. I told you 2 years ago the body scans were for a biometric scan because I knew the company made them. Then it came out 2 weeks ago in CNBC and the Wall Street Journal that it is a biometric scan. Just like they take your baby's blood at birth and lie to you and say it's for a blood test and it's really for a global DNA database sold to private companies, they tell you the body scans are for bombs. It's a body scan for the biometrics. Oh, I'm getting mad. And I haven't even gotten into all the news yet. I mean, that's what's so horrific about this. Get your fighting spirit back. Don't go yell and scream at a UT football game and feel manly. Get upset about freedom and not being a slave. Please, let's go ahead and play this clip. And this is how great it is that the National Guard is in Dallas, brainwashing kids. Oh, the Army comes into this. Oh, we're tearing down a crack house. Well, why didn't the city do it? What is the National Guard doing? They're just training you. They're training the troops. It's normal. While they openly say those very troops will never get their health care paid for. See, remember that. Cops, troops, all of you. You're going to be nailed to the wall by this system. So keep living in denial. Because if this goes through, you're going to be judged so hard, I feel sorry for you. You're going to be judged by the decisions. All of you slack-jawed, giggling yuppies. All of you trendies. All you weak men out there who think this is funny. You and your families will be judged. Remember that. You will be judged by your own cowardice and letting this come in. Play the clip.
Here's your Pentagon Channel report.
The Texas National Guard is helping Dallas, Texas get rid of drug houses. The Guard's first assignment Thursday was 1 block away from an elementary school. The building, once a church, then a furniture store, more recently, police say, a drug den.
We don't know what kind of people are inside the building, drug users, sex offenders. It could be anybody inside these buildings.
Yeah, so the Army's here.
Give me a break. When I'm going home, I see people smoking and walking around with drugs, and I feel sad.
Who was the first, during Katrina, they went to the richest neighborhoods and took their guns out of their houses. Remember that on ABC News? All the guns will be taken. No one will be allowed to be armed. We'll come back and finish up with that clip, take a few final calls, get to some other news, but I guess I shouldn't be upset.
We are on the march. The empire is on the run. Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
Watching the liberty drain out of us like a decapitated pig. To watch our lifeblood pour out of us. To know history, to know the bondage of servitude. America has had it so good, so has the rest of the West. And we are, on average, a lot of soft, arrogant people, myself included. I'm not on a high horse here. But you have been warned, ladies and gentlemen. No one can deny that the government and the mega corporations are waging war against all the other businesses and corporations and against our state governments and are bringing in criminal tyranny. We have a right and a duty to resist this. I do not want this to happen. Everybody I know, famous musicians, Hollywood people, doctors, lawyers, average folks, former NSA, CIA people, they're all saying, that's it, I'm leaving the country, or I'm hiding out, or I don't know what to do. I remember 4 years ago talking to one of the richest women in America. And she was moving out of the U.S., and she said, Alex, there will not be a United States soon. And I said, what does that mean? She said, the derivatives, they're going to destroy us greater than anything, and she's an insider. It's all fraud. This doesn't have to happen. I mean, folks, every other major economist, even 60 Minutes, says national unemployment, 22%. California's 30+. What does Schwarzenegger do? He puts in a carbon tax, a 20% tax on all industry. What's that going to do? They want to destroy it. It's so over the top, it doesn't have to happen. And I do hear local talk show hosts and national getting a little more hardcore. That isn't enough. You got to come out with it all. It's right there. Come on, people. I love this country. My family's been here since 1829. We got a family ranch. I don't want to leave the United States. There's nowhere to run. But more and more, I feel immoral even keeping my wife and children here. I mean, if it gets worse in the next year or so, I may have to get my wife and kids out of the country. But where are they going to go? And I won't be here all the time if I got to go visit them. I mean, I want to save the republic. And again, a lot of folks are waking up right now, but people have got to really face just how evil this system is. This is not America. This is not freedom. This is not good. And all of the inch-deep propaganda they put out to wrap all their evil in patriotism, folks better wake up. Jonathan in Kansas. I want to go to Jonathan, Nate, Alex, and Julio at least. Go ahead, Jonathan.
Yes, Alex, I advise you to get a pen and paper because I have two guests who are experts on eugenics. I suggest you get them on your show. They've written books on eugenics, and they're very knowledgeable.
Who are they?
I don't think you've had... Okay, one of their names is Alan Hornblum. That is Alan Hornblum. He written two books about the Holmesburg prison in Philadelphia, which was under the directions of the University of Pennsylvania. They conducted tests with the Army and the CIA with dioxins.
No, they do that they do that in East Texas at Huntsville. They torture them routinely, and then that's mainstream news. They sew dioxin into their back. Hell, they shoot little kids up all the time. It's all part of their fun, killing kids. I mean, it's come out in the news shooting kids up with syphilis. But okay, tell me the other author.
It's her name is Harriet Washington, and she wrote the book Medical Apartheid, and that's where she talked about how.
No, I know that. I've read that book. Yes.
Yeah, and she talked about how the Army would release plagues of mosquitoes on communities that would have yellow fever.
And now
malaria.
Bill Gates says you don't want to take vaccines. Fine. He's going to release mosquitoes to give you a special love bite. I appreciate your call, Jonathan. Yes, hardcore info. In fact, let's get Harriet Washington, Medical Apartheid on. Let's write that down. Let's go. I mean, folks, we've got hundreds of eugenics books back here, written, many of them by the government. I mean, these people are so evil, you can't even imagine it. And that's why we're so helpless. We're so cattle-like. I mean, anybody with children, I don't know how you're not fighting as hard as you can to expose these murderers. It comes out all the time. Oh, the government's putting uranium in the water in Texas and kept it secret. Oh, no big deal. Oh, the government shot some kids up with syphilis in Guatemala, but it doesn't matter. The government cares about me. I mean, what is your problem? How many times do you have to look at this? Radiating U.S. foster children to death. Public news. You suck your thumb. I don't care about that. There's going to be a football game on tonight. Let's go ahead and talk to Nate in California. You're on the air.
Hey, Alex.
Hey, buddy.
I just wanted to let you know I'm up here in Northern California fighting the same fight as you, so just hang in there with us. I'd like to elaborate, though, people not doing the research, and it's just they'll fight and they'll argue, but they won't even
they'll tell you you're lying. They'll tell, I mean, look, Canadians tell me that the Queen can't shut down their parliament. She does it all the time.
Yeah, I was listening to a lady up locally, and she says she absolutely refuses to believe that the president, even Obama, would do 9/11 or an inside job, and I just have to yell at the radio, like, don't you even look at all the different operations that are out there that are declassified.
They have declassified over 2,000 examples of nerve gas in Project Shad and other operations, murdering our own troops. They put our troops in chambers, tell them they're going to test something on them, and murder them. Murder them. Murder them. But still, the public sucks the thumb.
Yeah, the people just need to wake up, and they are, so I'm happy about that. Hopefully it's not too late, but I wanted to let you know that you actually inspired me. You woke me up. You inspired me to start a local radio show here. We've had 4 shows already, and we're getting a really good response. We had Michael Murphy, the director of What in the World Are They Spraying On, and we're having some good, we had Gerald Salente coming on, so.
That's awesome. Plug it. I mean, is it internet or is it local AM, FM?
It's local, but they can get online and listen also.
Okay, tell us the station. Tell us the station.